Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold here, guys. This is going to be an absolute banger. But before we get into it, guys, this video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. So let's start with Paulo Costa here, guys, because Paulo is on a 2-loss streak, obviously to Marvin Vettori and Israel Adesanya. Adesanya broke his winning run. He had an extremely competitive and close fight with Yoel Romero, if you remember. I scored that fight a draw. I think it was extremely close. It could go either way. Not upset how anyone scores that fight. Very interesting one. What he showed in that fight wasn't he's not just a bodybuilder, looking guy. He has excellent body kicks. His kicking game is extremely good. He's extremely durable and tough. The only issue I have with Paulo Costa is what happened against Marvin Vettori, which is the weight. If he makes middleweight, he's a dangerous individual because his size, he must balloon up 30 pounds easily. He must easily weigh over 210 pounds in the fight. I mean, against a technical striker that can hit those timing marks on you like Israel did, he doesn't really have a chance. He doesn't use wrestling, in any of these fights. I believe he does have good wrestling. His jiu-jitsu is non-existent at this point because he just doesn't like to use it. He likes to stand and trade with people. He likes to be exciting. He likes to be in a war. When that Yoel Romero fight, you can just note his career off that fight almost because he was saluting back at Yoel. They were always mirrors of each other at some points. He's not a consistent, I'm going to outpace you for an entire fight. He's a blitz fighter. He will fight in moments and spurts in the rounds. And I think against Luke Rockhold, that might be really good idea because Luke Rockhold had a real big problem against when he fought Yoel Romero with those burst sprints, and his timing might not be there yet. So Luke Rockhold hasn't fought since 2019 when Jan Blachowicz knocked his soul out of his body, and before that, he fought Yoel Romero and got absolutely destroyed. Did beat David Branch, but obviously before that lost his belt to Michael Bisping in one of the best nights of my life, that's for sure. So Luke Rockhold, guys, we don't know what Luke Rockhold is coming back here. He got knocked out by Jan Blachowicz and Yoel Romero in his last fights. It was back in 2019, so we haven't seen him in a while. He's obviously in great physical condition, keeps himself in there. He's like a model on the side, I'm pretty sure, as well. But the last win he had was against David Branch, decent win. He's only on a 2-loss streak, but he's been knocked out viciously in 3 out of his last 4. Michael Bisping, Yoel, and Jan. That Jan one really did starch him, and he had knee braces on it. I don't think he was mentally and physically there at the time. We've seen the viral clips of him hitting question mark kicks against dummies, and he's obviously in a better place coming back now. He's been chasing at multiple fights. Getting someone like Paulo Costa, he honestly believes he's at the top of his game still. He was the champion. When Chris Weidman did that spinning wheel kick and Luke just mounted him and beat the shit out of him, that's the Luke Rockhold I remember. The mounted guillotine against Michael Bisping, I know he got wheel kicked as well by TRT Belfort, but Luke Rockhold was an absolute animal at one point or another when he called himself a samurai. He was a samurai in a way, he was excellent, but there's just a loose screw in that guy's head, and it's an ego screw, I think. He just believes too much. He's so self-obsessed in a bad way that I don't think he's going to be able to perform against Paulo Costa. I think Paulo Costa is more dangerous than he lets on because on paper, Paulo Costa is an animal. Then you see him on social media and you get a bad impression of him, like, oh, he's just a joke at this point, he's just muscles, he's just a body, but he's a legitimate martial artist. That really changed my view when he fought Marvin Vettori. Yes, he was stupid with his weight and Marvin came in so professional and did a job, but he had moments in that fight where he was really hurting Marvin Vettori. He was chasing that fight. He should not be fighting at middleweight. He should be at light heavyweight or heavyweight. Let's be honest here. And I think we'd all rather see him at those weight classes as well than kill himself to make a weight class where, he's okay. He's fought some okay guys. The mismatch against Johnny Hendricks is one thing, but it's not. I don't think it's a mismatch against Luke Rockhold. I think it's an interesting fight. I think Luke Rockhold has every potential to win. He's technically, I would say, way better than Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa has excellent body kicks, a very pressurizing style where he mauls you. He will take shots to give shots. I mean, the Uriah Hall fight, Uriah Hall was battering him with jabs, busted his nose open very quickly in that fight and just Paulo's pressure broke him, and that's what he does. He breaks you. He couldn't break Yoel Romero because it was very much a mirror match. Couldn't break Israel because Israel was just too good on the striking, timed him perfectly, and just smashed him to bits. And Marvin Vettori out-grinded him. He beat him at his own game almost. Luke Rockhold's not got the best cardio, when he was fighting last, but again, it all depends on what Rockhold comes back. If Rockhold comes back and he's himself, he's in a flowing state, he's hitting those leg kicks, he's grappling, he's got an unbelievably strong top game, using his wrestling and getting Paulo to the floor, I think he'd have a massive advantage. But he only does it normally when they're hurt, not as an offense, and that's what I don't like. I don't know what Luke Rockhold is coming back, and I think Paulo Costa, if he makes the weight, which is the if, I think he's going to get him. I think Paulo Costa, he's going to land some body kicks, he's going to be nasty, he's going to pressurize Luke Rockhold to the point where he breaks, and I think he's going to deliver a finish. I don't think it'll go decision. I think he will finish Rockhold, if anyone's going to get finished in this one. Real interesting fight here, guys. I am picking Paulo Costa. I think Luke Rockhold has all the potential to win, but I just can't side with him because I just don't know what Luke Rockhold is coming back, and I think he's taken a significant amount of damage. He's had the years off, but I still think you get knocked out 3 out of the last 4 badly, and then you get put against Paulo Costa when you've had 3 years out the cage. Doesn't look good. Paulo Costa for me, guys. Love to hear your thoughts. Comment below, like the video if you have enjoyed it, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Enjoy this fight, guys, and enjoy 278. Cheers, guys.